Or he obviously is off a bit more of a layoff than you might have liked. Are you confident that he's coming up to the Classic in his best form?
Yes, I'm glad I beat Todd here. I only have two to talk about. He might be here all day. Invisor 90 days isn't my normal training routine, but he's done extremely well with the 90 days. And we were unfortunate to have a temperature the week before the Jockey Gold Cup, but he's trained unbelievable, put weight on, and couldn't be doing any better. So hopefully the 90 days turns out to be a positive.
And with Henny Hughes in the sprint, I mean, obviously in the Breeders' Cup sprint every year, there's a lot of gas in the field, and you're able to sit right off of Tilla Storm in the Vosburg. That was only a 5 or 6 horse field. Now you got a gate full of them. Where do you see Henny Hughes being early in the race?
Well, hopefully the couple speed horses outside of us clear us, and then we have an opportunity to cross over their heels and be on the outside of them by the half-mile pole. We'll leave that up to Johnny, but we've had to do that every race this year. We've been inside and crossed over horses' heels to get to the outside of them. He does everything right. He's not a runoff type fast horse. We would rather be laying third or fourth, but when you have that many horses in there and so much going on early, we have to use him a little bit early to get our position.
And by the way, if anybody has any questions, just raise your hand, get a mic over to you. Yeah, we have one on each side. Was Henny Hughes ever a runoff horse? I mean, he seems to be a lot more professional than maybe he was as a 2-year-old when you didn't have him. But has he matured, or has he always been pretty kind?
He's been pretty kind. I mean, Patrick did a great job with him as a 2-year-old. We got him 2 or 3 weeks before the Breeders' Cup, 3 weeks before the Breeders' Cup last year, and he finished second. But he's gone from a boy to a man with the time, and he went to Dubai and had several months over there without a race. But he's much more mature, filled out, and he's, like I said, a man now, and very, very powerful built colt, and he's doing everything right.
Any questions from, yeah, right over here.
Kieran, what's the plan with Invisor after this? Is this his last race? Will you guys move on with him, or you know?
Don't know. Rick Nichols said to me this morning that we probably will point for the World Cup in Dubai in March, but you never know if he wins. He might go to Shadwell and be a stallion. But he's a very sound horse, doing everything right, and we would love to train him again next year.
And just to follow up to that, I mean, with Bernardini, perhaps more than likely this is his last one. And it's the age-old question. I mean, are we ever going to see any of these really good horses run for a while?
With the Maktoum family, yes. It's not about money with them. They're sportsmen, and they want to keep the horses racing. But, you know, you never know. I don't know if Bernardini's for sure done either. I'm not from that camp. So I don't know, but they do race their horses. Fantastic Light was a good example of one that kept racing for a long time, and Sheikh Mohammed, if they're able, probably would like to keep them racing.
In the press box upstairs, in the Joe Hirsch press box, that you too can ask a question from there. We have Jesse there who can take the questions, and they'll be...
You were ambitious at one time and you wanted him to go over longer distances. Why did you change your mind? At what point did you think he would be a lot more effective over shorter distances, especially as a sprinter?
Well, he showed that as a 2-year-old that he was very much more effective shorter, but he would get further. We could have tried to stretch him out to that in the Haskell at a 1.8 miles. But when I spoke to Sheikh Rashid bin Mohammed Al Maktoum, the owner, we just talked about the plan was best to keep him short for this Saturday, because if we stretched him out and went 1.8 miles or a mile, we know that 1.25 miles was not going to be his best trip. So we would have had to go gear back down to the sprint. So we decided to keep him short, with the King's Bishop being the main objective, and then the Breeders' Cup.
Hi Karen, on the championship picture for older horses, Do you feel that you need to win the Classic to be ahead of Lava Man, or say Bernardini were to win, do you think finishing ahead of Lava Man would be enough to crown your horse is the best in that division?
That's a good question. I mean, I never know what the voters out there, how they're gonna vote. Hopefully we win the race and we're champion older horse. It's hard to say how the voting will go. We'll just have to see.
Again,
I just wanted to let you know, Steve Cawthon, writing a column in the Sporting Life website, makes Henny Hughes his best wager of the afternoon on Saturday. That should be music to your ears.
Yes, I hope he's right. That sounds good to me.